Do you all know the guy, Kevin, from Catch and Cook, California? Well, him and I have been talking about making a shellfish hook video for a really long time. So we were talking on the phone the other day, and he was telling me how it's been so long since we've seen each other, but to me it felt like I've seen him last week because he's been putting out a lot of videos. But it's finally happening today. So I am with Kevin and we're making that video today. He's here with me.
Yes.
Yep.
Finally coming together, man.
It is, yeah. So tell the people what we're doing and how we finally got to this point.
Man, okay, so I think it was like the week after I finished my dissertation, it just happened that Mats and I had a low tide, got together, did the first video I had done in like 2 years, because all I was doing was writing, and we found this abalone shell, and I was like, oh, yeah, I did my master's thesis research on these shellfish hooks that were carved from abalone shell. We should do a video where we make these and we go fishing with them. And it sounded like it was gonna happen the next week. And that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So yeah, now we're finally making it happen. And you know, I kept thinking, why is this not happening? Like, why have we not done it yet? And I think it's because we hadn't yet met Steven. So this is Steven. Steven has an Instagram which is true to tradition. He's on Etsy. He is Coastal Shoemash.
Coastal Shoemash. Schmewich. Hello everyone, my name is Steven Saffold. I'm a coastal Shoemash flint napper, an artist, and abalone carver. Kevin here invited me to do the hook fishing video. And it was my first time making hooks with stone tools, and I was dreading it the whole time, but finally got a few made, and we're gonna twist up some cordage and put them to use.
So tomorrow morning, about 7:30, it's a negative 1.5 tide. We're gonna head over to the rocks and try to get something without using any modern fishing tools. We're only gonna be using cordage like this that we're making ourselves with this wood called dogbane. Dogbane is a fibrous plant with a pith, and we're using the bark from it to make the cordage. How we're doing that is breaking the plant in half, and we're breaking it all the way down to the end into 2 or 3 or even 4 pieces, depending how big the piece is. These are some of the hooks that we're going to be using that Kevin made already. This is like the equivalent of a modern day size 1 hook, a size 2 hook, and a size 4 hook. The original circle hooks. But we're also going to be making some of those hooks after we make the cordage. This is one that Kevin completed already, and hoping to make about 3 or 4 more before tomorrow morning. So the trick with this dogbane, after you have it split, is to break one side, peel it a little bit, and then go from the opposite side, peel that back, and you got a nice piece of fibrous bark. So Kevin and Steven were talking about how this dogbane is poisonous to dogs. So if you do make this cordage, make sure you want to dispose of this so a dog can't get to it. All right, so we got a few strands of cordage here, and I'm surprised how strong this stuff really is. So the first thing we're going to do is rub it in between our hands so we get rid of all the rectangular type formations, and we turn it kind of into a circular pattern and break down the fibers a little bit. We'll go down the entire stalk of this piece of bark. There is something that feels pretty natural about this and instinctual for some reason. Now we're at the point of the actual cordage making, so we'll take off what we just twisted in our hands. Now in the middle, we'll start twisting in one way with our fingers and the opposite way with our other hand. And we're gonna get that cordage real tight, and it's gonna start folding in on itself if we put it together. Just like that. And then we can hold it and continue those twists. We'll twist one side a lot. We'll hold it between. We'll wrap it underneath. Start twisting that top side. We'll hold that tight. We'll wrap that one underneath, keeping it nice and tight. And we'll continue that one twist at a time until we have some cordage. So I almost got the original braided line complete, but I wanted to show you how to splice 2 together for all of you that are going to go fishing with this method after you watch this video. So my little cord is not that pretty, but I'm happy with it. And man, this stuff is strong. I can really pull it, and that's got to be like at least 20-pound test. I'm not going to put more pressure because I don't want to break it, but it could probably hold more. And so it's not quite long enough, I'm going to splice another piece together. How I do that, I take another piece of cord and I put it right in between and I just start twisting those together. So we kind of do that together, keep it tight, and then just start wrapping those together. And there's our splice. And we'll keep it going. And we'll continue onward until we have about a 2-foot section of rope. This little section took about 45 minutes, by the way. Stephen was saying how they would make these canoes or rafts kind of things out of redwood bark. I think it was redwood bark. And they would use 3 miles of cordage to make one boat. That would take forever for me. Just about done there. That's my cordage, about 2 feet long. Let's see how strong this line really is. So I'm gonna tie this around my 1 liter water bottle. This is at least 3 pounds. So if I get a good fish, oh yeah, we'll be able to pull a fish out of the water, no problem. Now the only other thing to do is make a hook, attach it, and attach this rope to our rod. And we're gonna go primitive fishing with the original circle hook, braided line, and rod. This is made out of a different material, right?
That's cattail, yeah.
So this is cattail. Kevin made this. Look how clean that looks. All right, let's talk about the rig a little bit. This is what Kevin's going to be using tomorrow. He's got a hook that's naturally carved out by the ocean, and this is just like a high-low rig without 2 hooks, but it's got a little leader with the hook hanging off here, and you get a fish on and pull it up, and if everything goes to plan, it should stick. And this black stuff that's holding the hook onto the rope is called asphaltum, a naturally occurring rubber type compound, kind of like a glue, and it holds the hook in place. So Kevin's plan is to throw this out in the shallows, kind of have it sit there with a piece of muscle, check on it later, and keep an eye on the line. If it starts moving, just pull it in with constant pressure and maybe a fish will be there. Probably been a long time since anybody's ever done this. So Kevin's starting the process of making a hook out of an abalone shell, but this is another form of hook that Kevin brought along. This one is really cool. I can see this being very effective. Put a piece of bait on it, the fish would swallow it, he'd pull a line, and it would get stuck in his throat as you pull it up. Another traditional way of fishing with a bone sharpened on 2 sides.
Get to working around the point, I want to use the real fine grain abrader. It's a little more similar to sandpaper, whereas the interior is more like a rasp. So the rasp lets me remove material real quick, but once I start doing the fine details, I want that finer grit. It'll take longer, but it creates less vibration, so it's less likely to crack the shell as I'm working.
Very cool.
Almost there.
Nice. Cool. There it is, complete.
Good work.
Sharp.
So that was the finished one you had in your back pocket.
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right, I just tied on a hook, regular double knot. Now let's go get the rod.
Rough it up. This is Georgetown flint, and that's just what we're looking for. That's all I need. There we go.
So even though I got all this extra line, I'm only going to use a little bit of it. Oh man, that hook is sharp. I'm just getting myself hooked. I carved off the end of this stick with the stone tool, and I'm going to put that hook as close as I can to the tip. Then I'm gonna make a little loop at the end, wrap it around loosely. I'm not gonna do it tight at all. 7 wraps, put that loop through here. Now, I don't know if this is the way they really did it, but this is the way I'm gonna do it. And I think this should hold if I can get this line through. Now I should be able to pull this loop all the way under. Just kind of guide the rest of this line through, pull that through, and we should have a really strong connection. And I carved this notch right here, so everything will pull up right against it. And that's not going anywhere. Now I could just trim this off, but I think I'll just tie it right on there so I don't lose any extra line. And never know when I'll need more line. That stuff takes a long time to make. There we go. Now we'll put a little asphaltum on the hook.
It's solid right now, slowly heating up, and we can see it bubbling too. Traditionally it would be done with in a shell along the campfire.
So I tied that loose end around the shank of the hook so when I pull on it, it doesn't come off. And I'm just going to cut that extra off. Put some asphaltum around there to secure it, and we are ready to fish. Licking my fingers, forming it around the hook. Man, this stuff's really hardens to almost rock hard. Good morning. It is a beautiful day. It's about 6:15. Low tide is a negative 1.5 at 7:30 a.m. and we think that that's the best opportunity to catch fish. You know, all of this would normally be covered by water, but it's low tide, so it's the perfect time to get out here. So it's 6:30 now. Like I said, low tide is at 7:30, so we've got a good hour or two at least to try to get a fish. With 3 people, all we need is 1. That's the goal. Traditionally, mussels were used for bait, so that's what we're going to try. But on the way over, I found a soft shell sand crab. That was probably around 2. I'm going to give that a try also if I can get it to stay on the hook. You know, there's really one specific type of hole I'm going to be focusing on right now, and that's just a deep hole about 2 feet deep that's wide enough where I can get a good swing on the fish if I get a bite. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough to get a fish out of a tiny hole. We brought some extra dog bane just to use as kind of magic thread to keep the bait on, since the hooks are barbless after all. Well, I know this sand crab is a little bit big, but if there is a fish, I do think that it'll bite. So I'm going to put it straight through its back. And it's sharp enough that it'll pierce it. There's the hook tip exposed. I don't even think I need to put any dog bane on this one. This one holds it just fine. So Kevin and Steven are both going to be using mussels. Always nice to have 2 baits, see which one's more effective. All right, oh man, it's been so long since I've been to a low tide zone. Lots of slippery stuff to watch out for. So if you ever come out here at low tide, always watch out for the shiny rocks. Try to step on the sand if you can, and watch out for standing water with seaweed like this, because you step in it, you might step into a giant hole by accident. See under that side of the rock and under that side of the rock? Those are the perfect spots that a rockfish would be hiding. I'm not really going for eels because there's no barb on this hook. I just want a rockfish to bite this. Nope, I need a deeper hole. Now I don't want to stick it into a hole that's really small, or else when I try to pull the fish out and set the hook, then that shell is going to get stuck on a rock and I'll lose it. But ooh, this hole looks great right here. Ooh, very deep.
Oh, I had an eel. You had a hit? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh. So awesome, dude.
Oh.
That eel had his mouth on my bait, but not the hook in his mouth. He's kind of a baby eel.
All right, I just got my bait taken too. So let me smash this mussel and get some mussel on here with some dog bane. It's a nice size one. Break her off. Oh. Sharp stuff, this big mussel. But you can see how sharp the hook is. It goes right through the mussel. Right there like that. I don't even think I need any dog bane. I think this will stay on just fine. Oh yeah, fish or eel. Something shaking the rod. All right, I want you to put a little piece on here so it has to commit to it. Instead of the dog bane, I'm just gonna use this piece of grass here, wrap it around. Look how easy that comes off. So it really needs something by this shank to keep it in place. Actually, I do think the piece of this dog bane would be better. So I'm gonna wrap this around here, and if this bait can stick, man, I really think we have a good chance to get a fish on it. All right, let's see if that helps at all. Oh, I'm snagged. How can I get snagged? I think it must be on a sea anemone or something. Dang it, what? Don't want to mess up my hook. Shoot. Oh, that's what I got. Strong enough to pull this guy out.
Wow, what is that? Like a sponge or something?
Yeah, I like hooked him.
Well, right on. It's an anemone.
Oh, that's just an anemone?
Yeah.
I've never seen one come off whole.
Me either. Must be a strong hook.
Such cool terrain. If this was SoCal, I could totally see halibut living in this exact spot. This would be great if I can get a bite here, because if I do, I can fling it as fast as I can out onto the sand. Ugh. Got something. Crab, big old crab with eggs. Look at the size of these mussels. If you were going to harvest them though, they most likely have sand. Ugh. Since they're around all the other sand. Best way to get them off is just twist that mussel until that beard gets twisted and weaker and weaker and weaker. Then you'll be able to rip it right off. There we go. Now smash it. Oh man, kelp crab. Sharp claws. You could probably poke me. Ow, God, he's sharp. Oh my God, he's just grabbing me with his sharp little legs, bright red. Oh, he could definitely grab me. Such a cool crab though. This would be a really cool like pendant design or something. The shell and shape of that crab. Whew. Oh man, that's the first wave that pushed through here. Tide really is rising. If we can't get any fish, there is plentiful food to eat. We've got mussels all around. We've got crabs crawling all over the place. So if this is a failure with the hooks, which I don't consider it a real failure, I mean, we made them after all, we'll just eat something else, mussels and crab. At least we can get something from the ocean today. Kevin just got a perch with the drop shot. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that.
Perfect hook set right
It's
there.
actually through its mouth. Wow, that's amazing, man. Wow.
I am so stoked.
Look at that, that's crazy.
There you go, small hook for a perch.
Oh man, look at that. It's just let him eat it and popped right through the skin.
Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. Big hook for a big fish, small hook for a small fish. And got him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the first time I dropped it in and then I started getting bite, and I'm like, oh, those are hits. And then all of a sudden I get a semi hook set and I start to bring it up and I saw the flash of the striped perch. I'm like, okay, he's gonna be biting the small hook. So I put him right back because I still had bait, and bite, and I just let him take it for a while. Let him, you know,
swallow it kind of.
Yeah, and then I put tension and boom.
He probably had it in his mouth and it just pulled right there. It's amazing.
Yeah, dude, they work. They work.
If you guys didn't know, Kevin does guiding full time now, and he has a website. You can sign up, check his available dates, come out and do something like this. I don't know if it's going to be exactly with the old school fish hooks.
We can arrange that.
But yeah, if you want to come out and experience something like this, that is the guy to call. I would have given up a long time ago.
Catchandcookcalifornia.com, catch the letter N, cookcalifornia.com. Free dive spear fishing, I teach mushroom identification, hook and line fishing from shore, crab snaring, a lot of good times. Oh yeah, and coastal foraging as well.
What a fish. Beautiful pattern. Almost looks like it's drawn on by my 6-year-old. So Kevin had some bait on this hook. The fish took it, right? It got in its mouth, and all Kevin had to do was pull it up. And look, I just pull, and the hook goes right where it should, through the thin skin. And that's it. That is amazing. Let's try again on this side. Swallows it. All right, pull it up, bam. All right, we're gonna start heading back so we don't get trapped out here on the rock. It is incoming from low tide, so that's definitely the best thing to do. It is getting very, very deep. Well, we got a crab, now we got a fish, and we're gonna grab some mussels too. Remember what I was saying about the sand being so close to the mussels, so the mussels are probably gonna be sandy, especially when the waves are crashing over, because they're filter feeding through the sand. So I'm going to try to pick some that are a little bit higher up. And you can't just be picking mussels anytime you want. You got to check with the algae bloom, domoic acid, all that type of stuff, the shellfish poisoning hotline, the biotoxin hotline. A lot of the time of the year, mussels are open, but it's better to double check that, because if you do get poisoned, it's a permanent short-term memory loss. Don't want to get poisoned by that stuff. I'm just going to rinse off these mussels. There's a good amount of sand on the outside, so if I could eliminate the sand as much as I can, it'll make the meal just that much more enjoyable. So Steven is about to gut and clean that fish with that flint knap knife he's got, and I'm gonna collect some tinder as dry as can be. And then we don't have any lighters or matches or anything like that, so we're gonna start a fire with either a bow drill or a friction fire hand drill. I think I need about this much to get a good successful fire, but I'm getting extra just because this stuff burns so fast. Tell me what I'm doing right and wrong.
Okay.
Should I step on it, you think?
You can, but yeah, I like to just, if it's staying in one spot, that's when I...
Shorter.
Faster and a lot of downward pressure.
Yeah, I can see how you blister up so fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't look hard, all right, but it's pretty hard. When you're just looking from the outside, you think you can do it, but when you actually do it, it's just like one or two. Even switch to a willow root and a mule fat spindle.
But yeah, there it is.
Good, man.
Look at that.
Still smoldering.
Dude, you put some work on that one,
Oh
brother.
man.
Keep your sweat away from it.
Yep, that's the thing.
More smoke and more smoke. There it is. Nice.
Yes, dude.
Oh,
Heck yeah. I bet you guys don't see that too often. That's a good skill to have for sure. So you're sharpening that antler.
yeah, so I have some sandstones with me. All I need is a little piece of sandstone to sharpen this deer antler up, which is going to be my tool to pressure flake a new edge onto my knife right here. This is chert, it's Keokuk chert from Oklahoma. And then I'm just going along the edge here and I'm giving it a fresh edge because of all the work I've done to this knife. It's made it dull. So I just want a nice saw-like serrated edge. This side I was using yesterday for the willow when I was cutting little branches off to make our poke poles. So I'm going along right here and just going up the whole edge of the knife.
There it is, man.
Yeah.
Very nice. You can use this to cover up with dude, that looks very ready on this side.
Nice.
Got it done, man.
You did it, Kevin.
We did it. This was a team effort, 100%. You know, it's been a dream in the making for a long time, a discussion for a long time,
Yep.
a tradition for a long time, and it paid off today.
It was 10 years ago that you first made a thesis. Was that what it was?
Yeah, I finished my thesis in 2013. Yeah, so over 10 years ago. And then I've been studying these fish hooks since 2006 and making them with stone tools since then. Never fished with them.
Yeah, this is the first time you fished with them? And you got one. Can you believe it? You made these forks too, so we're gonna eat it with all natural stuff. So how should we dig in? What do you want to do? You want to?
I think grab
with the
the
fish?
skin and just kind of peel it back, and I think it should be fully cooked. And then, you know,
Well, I'm gonna try a little bit of the skin. Actually, it looks like the scales crisped up. I'm just gonna try it.
you got it. You got it.
I can barely tell there's a scale there.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Striped perch has never been the top of my list in terms of fish to eat, but I think I appreciate this fish more than any other fish I've ever caught in my life.
It's almost got a seasoned flavor to it too, doesn't it? Like you can taste a little salt from it.
It's flaking perfectly off the bones. Absolutely cooked all the way through, but not overcooked.
The meat looks really good too.
Yeah. Nice and clean.
This is such a good activity for kids to do too. So many memorable moments you can make doing this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
You said one of your first ever memories was going clamming over here.
My very first memory. Yeah. Yeah, my very first memory is clamming with my family. And obviously never went back.
All right, mussels. I've never been the biggest fan, but Kevin's the biggest fan. So you split them open usually? I don't know how many times
Take
I've
that
eaten
one.
mussels.
I think that one should be nice and cooked.
Okay, so we'll split it open.
Split it open. Yeah, see, this is a little al dente.
Yeah, you can see the color, right? And
That one. Yeah.
so you'd hold it by the beard,
Yep.
kind of as a grip.
And then peel it out and bite-sized goodness.
No poop sack.
I mean, you eat the whole entity.
You've had rock crab before?
I've had mainly like Dungeness crab, but I think I've had rock crab before.
A lot of times they tend to be sweeter to me. The meat tends to be sweeter than the Dungeness. Real stringy, huh?
It sure is.
Why is that?
I don't know.
It's like noodles. I've never seen crab like that.
Maybe because of the way it was cooked,
Yeah.
cooking it in the coals.
I don't think it was undercooked
No.
or overcooked.
Their claw is really thick, like a shell almost, or it feels like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. I don't think you've ever seen a video like this before, fishing wise at least. Thank you, Steven. True to tradition, again, on Instagram and Etsy. If you want to check out any of his stuff, check him out. And of course, Kevin, we've been talking about this, doing this for years, and we finally made it happen. So,
Oh yeah.
appreciate you too. And I think that's about it. We'll see you on the next one.